So some of the things to be able to get done down there is I got to remove this hose down there for that intercooler. But I think what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to remove this top part of it. Just remove this hose that goes into the intake, because I think it'll be easier along the road if this whole thing's out of here. I'm going to do some of the remove the timing stuff. We're going to have to remove this sensor clip here. So you lift up on this one and pull out on that one to remove it. Let's see, that should have been loose enough. Sure it was. Now see, if that's loose, if I'm pulling this whole subframe forward, I might not even have to worry about that. But let's see here. I think what I need to do is I need to see if I can remove this the condenser here. But before I do that, I do need to remove this intercooler down here. So let's go ahead and get our tools out for that. Okay, so here we are underneath the car for this hose that goes into the intercooler. The intercooler, so this hose that's on the back side goes in here. We're going to go ahead and disassemble it at this down here. Let's take this hose clamp off here. Loosey goosey. See if we can just pop that loose. There we go, got that loose. Okay, on this side, it looks like they wanted to get a little bit more creative, and the only way I can get to that nut on that hose clamp is to go through that hole. But I got the tools for that. That's okay. Plenty loose. Sorry, struggle to get this thing off. Okay. I did some prying on it with a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. And it looks like she's going to come off now. Perhaps. Go slow. You always want to go slow. You don't want to break things. Breaking things is terrible. I think that's pretty good. I think whenever we pull the intercooler off on the front side, it should pop right off. So it looks like to be able to get the intercooler off the front side, we've got two T25s on either side. Take them out to start. And then, yeah, it should just pop right off there. All right, there we go. Intercooler is off. Okay, so in order for me to look down in here and see what I need to do to remove this thing as an assembly, I'm going to remove this coolant tank. So it has, probably should use a probably number 8 on that, but let's use a Phillips to remove that. And then let's see, we've got hose here. Well, we could actually pop this off, I think, at this point. And then it just is held in by this little knobby and a little rubber grommet down there at the bottom. Most of the coolant should be already out, so I'm going to go ahead and try to release this clamp here and get it loosened from that. I think let's try to stick a flathead screwdriver in there instead to pry up on it. There we go. Looks like it moved to a certain position, and voila, that came out. Now all we need is this little overflow hose here. There we go. All right, now, okay, this hose here attaches to the radiator, so we're going to go ahead and remove it. I'm just going to use just a flathead to loosen this clamp here. There we go. All right, that's loose. All right, you guys have already been in this video for so long, so I'm just going to go ahead and start disassembling stuff that I think needs to come off. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. If it does, yay, we're ahead of the game. So I think this is some T25. So to continue trying to get this condenser out, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I think it's a 10mm bolt, just right here on the back side of this. So we're going to go ahead and go under here and remove these great big bolts that are back here from underneath, and then try to knock this whole subframe forward to see what we need to loosen up to be able to get this thing off here. Okay, so we need to remove these two bolts here. I think this has been done not too long in the past on this car, so I'm not too worried about lubricating the bolts. But you might want to put some PB Blaster on these before you hit this. And we got a 16. Yep, 16 millimeter right here to do these. I'm going to go ahead and use this great big wrench here as a breaker bar to try to break these things open though, because I think they're on there pretty good. All right, and on to the next side. And this side's performed much the same way, if not the exact same way, to remove those 2 bolts. That's done. And then to slide the subframe assembly forward, you need to take off these bolts. There should be 3 of them, or these nuts I should say, on the bolts. And there's also a little tiny, I'm not sure what size it is, if it's 20 or if it's 15 or what, but it's another Torx. It looks like that may need to come off there. There's possibly supposed to be some bolts here and here that attach to the backside, but they're not here. I don't know if the last owner forgot to put them back in or what. And that kind of scares me, because that's the whole subframe that we just now loosened. Like, that's what you knock forward. So anyway, we'll see. Well, it looks like if I want to keep this all into one assembly, I don't want to separate these if at all possible. So what we do need to do though is this plastic that goes all along here. It's held in by a bolt right here to this fender. So I need to take that bolt off, and then a bolt off of the other side, of course. And then we might try to knock it forward, if it will go forward, to see if this whole assembly can be taken loose that way. Looks like these little bolts are tins. Okay, so that bolt was proving to be difficult with the tiny little wrench, so I'm just going to kind of lift up on this panel a little bit and use my impact in here to get it right off there in a heartbeat. Let's go over to the other side and do the same thing. Let's see here. So you can get this in here like so. Like butter. Good deal. Okay, I'm going to try to take off this subframe right here. I think I need to use this size 13 socket in here. I'm hoping that this is going to release this. It is. And I got one little T25 or something in there. I'm going to have to figure out what that is. But I'm going to go ahead and move these over here on this. I want to do, if you look, this thing is already loose and ready to take off there, but I'm not ready for it to come off yet, because we got some more things that we need to make sure to disconnect. So one of them is over here with the windshield wiper washer hose. And you come up here to this little junction, this little joint right here, and try to untwist it to get it to come off there, just like so. Will that leak out? Yes, it will. Let's just put it right back up here somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to try to kind of pull it forward, but I want to see what's still connected under here. This thing is not connected as good. I'm going to kind of pull it forward. See what all I still have this. Let's pull this thing out of here. The breather hose from last time. Slide that back up there. I'm going to go set this down somewhere. I'm going to have to go ahead and take this piece off so that I can take this condenser coil and set it over to the side. So I'm going to, with the T20 Torx, I'm going to release that. That's the only thing that's really holding this whole plastic subframe to this metal subframe. Alright, let's see if this thing will... Yeah, on both sides, got another T20 at the bottom. Alright, I'm going to take this subframe off. We'll set her to the side. Now let's try to take this condenser coil out. Remember, I removed the top clips a little while ago. Okay. I think we've got a, yep, we got a 10mm bolt right back here. Right here. That we got to get off first, off of here. So let me get a 10mm socket. So I'm going to take this 10mm socket out of here to release the hoses off of this subframe. Ta-da! Got it out. Alright. Now we can continue to remove this condenser. See if we can do this all in one fell swoop. Still have some things connected. Still need to disconnect this radiator fan connector. It's got 2 tabs on the sides. So we got that disconnected. And we need to disconnect this hose up here for the intake. 7 works. Still got a radiator hose and a zip tie. It's like this one might be a number 8 on this bolt down here on this hose clamp. Yep. So be very careful when you're taking these things apart. Something happened to our windshield wiper reservoir. I don't know where it got busted or how, but it just got completely busted and drained it all out on the ground. So we got a few more cables and things to disconnect in here. So let's look and see what we got to disconnect. We've got some things that are connected over here to the to this reservoir. Got some electrical cables here connected to it. And I think that might be where it actually popped it. Yep. An actual motor pump, I believe. And this is the sensor for it down here. And we got another sensor right up here. Alright, we got all those removed. Now let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Oh, we got some sensors here on the other side too. So this on this sensor here, you can just push it forward so that you can get better access to it and pull. Just push it on the clip right there on the side. Well, I guess you could take the whole thing out too. There we go. Let's put that back in there so we know where it went. All right. We got some more connectors down here. That's for the horn assembly there. Got another little zip tie down here, but it's just on a clip. Let's try to work the condenser out of here whenever we're pulling this whole monstrosity out. Get it out right there. Is it going to go this way? This way. There we go. There. I guess we still have to remove this sensor after all. Well, that could have gone a lot easier. It didn't break. It just popped out. Popped loose. Yeah. These are supposed to come out. Apparently they didn't want to. So that's fine. Alright, we can just leave that there because that literally is out of the way.